Well, our next speaker doesn't need any introduction really, but I will introduce her as Tamworth's new ACL volunteer leader. Where are you, Helen? Here she comes. So, everyone knows what ACL stands for? Do we do? Australian Christian Lobby. Sorry? Hello, Helen. What does the Australian Christian Lobby do? Well, Helen's going to tell you, and her role will be to promote ACL in Tamworth and to us in church and to other Christians. So I'm going to hand over to her, and I think, is there some videos or are you just speaking? You're speaking. Right, okay. Can you get to there? Can you speak?
I guess so. Thanks. Good morning, church family. It's a privilege to stand before you today to talk about something that truly stirs my heart. The role of Christian in shaping our world, specifically through the work of Australian Christian Lobby, or ACL. As believers, we are called to be salt and light, not just within these worlds, but in all aspects of life, including politics. Today, I would like to share with you the visions and values of Australian Christian Lobby, how you can be part of it, and why us as Christians should be involved in politics. First, mission and values. Australian Christian Lobby exists with a clear purpose to bring Christian influence into Australian politics. The vision is to see Christian principles and ethics accepted and influencing the way we are governed, the way that we do businesses, and relate to each other as a community. Technically, there are grassroots movements. Over 250,000 Christians are committed to making truth public, whether it is advocating for sanctity of life, the protection of marriage and family, or religious freedom. The ACL stands firm on biblical values. Their mission is not to push for one political group's values. It's about ensuring that laws and policies reflect God's heart for justice, mercy, and righteousness. They engage with politicians, run campaigns, and equip Christians to speak up on issues that matter. Technically, they are like voice for voiceless, those who cannot speak for themselves, such as unborn or persecuted. This echoes Proverbs 31, 8-9. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. The ACL takes this call seriously, valuing every human life as made in God's image, from conception to natural death, and striving to see that truth shape our nation. So you may ask, why should we get involved in politics? Isn't it messy? Isn't it worldly? Fair questions. But let's turn to scriptures for clarity. Proverbs 24:10-12 says, "If you fail under pressure, your strength is too small. Rescue those who are unjustly sentenced to die. Sentence them as they stagger to their death. Don't excuse yourself by saying, 'Look, we didn't know,' for God understands all hearts and He sees you." This is a sobering charge. When injustice reigns, when the vulnerable are crushed, we can't sit back and say, "This is not my problem." God sees our hearts. God doesn't come down from heaven to earth to do His mission. He acts through us. He calls us to act. Politics, yeah, I understand, it's messy, but it isn't just about the elections or debates. It's about the systems that govern our lives. The ACL highlights issues like abortion, where thousands of lives are lost per year. Threats to religious freedom, where our rights to live out our faith is at stake. If we stay silent, who will speak? I say it again. If we stay silent, who will speak? Isaiah 59:14 paints a grim picture of a world without godly influence. Justice is turned back, and righteousness stands far away, for truth has stumbled in the public squares, and uprightness cannot enter. Doesn't that sound like today? I truly saw that in my previous workplace back in Victoria University in Melbourne. Truth stumbles when God's people withdraw. Christians must be involved because we carry God's light into dark places. The ACL empowers us to do that, bridging our faith with action in the public square. Let me close with this. The ACL tagline is truth made public. That's our calling to make God's truth known, not just here, but everywhere, even in the halls of power. So I would like to ask you, will you join in to make the truth public? And thanks for this opportunity.
Thanks, Helen. Before she goes, I just want to ask her, what inspired you to get involved?
As I said, back in Melbourne, I saw that if that unrighteousness was governing in, let's say, Victoria University. I was working at Victoria University for quite a while, and I noticed that, I was in minority to speak up against it, abortion, speak up against it, the religious freedom, or even simple things, saying that Australian universities push the nonsense ideas like white men are not good. When I explained that wisely and strategically in my classes, I realized that most of my students were by my side. And that really made me feel like I can't stay silent. I need to join a group. And one of my friends back in Melbourne took me to Australian Christian Lobby, and I saw Michelle, the CEO, and I realized that how passionate she is to make the truth public. So I decided when I came to Tamworth, I wanted to join them again, but I realized that there is no ACL. There are volunteers that have joined, but there is no leader. So I put my hands up and I said I would be honored to lead this to glorify God.
Well,
yeah.
Praise God for you, Helen. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, just quickly, Helen, how can people connect with ACL if they want to?
Oh, yeah. So you can see some flyers on the chairs. You can get into the website or scan the QR code and get into the website, volunteers, and join. Then ACL can send your information to me. I cannot get your information directly. So from there, I can create a group or join you to a volunteer group, and I can give you information weekly about, the bills that goes to Parliament, and you can sign petitions. You can even write a letter to Member of Parliament through ACL Tools campaign, and we can run events and make the truth public together.
Thank you so much.